And now, marine weather around Alaska.
All right, starting off the marine segment by looking at tomorrow's forecast, the weather chart here. Rain over the interior here with showers scattering out as you head south here, but some of that moisture all the way up to the Arctic coast. Light winds, high pressure here that's centered over the Aleutians, keeping it dry through much of the area. Chance of rain with this week's system coming into the west central Aleutians. And then this system coming up, starting to kick the winds up and increasing the rain over the southern southeast coast. And for Friday, that low comes up toward the Queen Charlotte Islands. Now it's going to push the rain a little farther north in the southern panhandle. Otherwise, clouds and showers over the interior, but increasing sunshine south and east of the Alaska Range. Bristol Bay, Kodiak Island with northwest winds developing there, and showers up over the central and eastern Brooks Range out to the eastern Arctic coast. Rain a little more widespread now as the system moves up right on the Aleutians. And for the coastal water forecast here for the southeast coast for for tomorrow, Thursday, southeast winds on the south coast 10 to 15 knots and east southeast at 10 knots for the north coast. Light variable winds over the inside waters with seas running 3 to 5 feet with the winds 5 to 15 knots, southeast 15 for Clarence Strait, and southeast 15 with 4-foot seas for Clarence Strait on Friday. Otherwise, Lynn Canal and Stevens Passage north at 10, and northeast winds or east northeast winds 15 to 20 knots there for the south coast with 6-foot seas, north at 10 for the central coast, northwest at 10 for the north coast. Prince William Sound, north winds 10 knots, seas only 2 feet though, and for the North Gulf Coast, light variable winds with 4-foot seas, variable at 20 for Kamishak Bay, and variable winds 10 knots for Cook Inlet, with the Barren Islands looking at a west wind at 15. And then those kick up to gale force out of the northwest here for Kamishak Bay and the Barren Islands, 35 to 40 knots in those areas with seas just under 10 feet. Cook Inlet, though, north to northwest at 15, northwest at 20 for Prince William Sound with a 4-foot sea. Small craft advisories, western North Gulf Coast there, northwest at 25 knots. And of course, that'll be more northerly there in Resurrection Bay. And for the eastern North Gulf Coast, north to northwest winds at 15 to 20. Kodiak Island, variable winds 15 to 20 knots tomorrow. Northwest 15 to 20 for the Alaska Peninsula and a northwest wind at 20 for Bristol Bay. Therefore, Friday, small craft advisories now for Kodiak Island, northwest 25 to 30 knots with likely some higher gusts out of the bays, and northwest 20 for Bristol Bay. Alaska Peninsula, west-northwest winds at 20 knots, seas running around 3 to 4 feet. And for the eastern Aleutians for Thursday, on Alaska Island, northwest winds 15 to 20 knots, Unimak Island and Atka looking variable at 10 to 15. And then for the western Aleutians, we've got mostly east and southeast winds at 15 to 20 knots. And for the day Friday, for the western Aleutians, look for east-northeast winds at 15 knots, southeast 15 for Adak and Atka. And for the eastern Aleutians, kind of split between Unimak and Unalaska Islands there with the greater Dutch Harbor area looking at a west wind at 15 knots, and the Kulski variable to southeast at 10 to 15. And for the Pribilof Islands on Thursday, variable winds 15 knots, southwest 15 for St. Matthew Island, and northwest winds 15 knots, Norton Sound, St. Lawrence Island, Yukon Delta coast, northwest 20 knots, south of Nunivak Island. And then for the day on Friday here, Norton Sound, St. Lawrence Island, Yukon Delta coast, St. Matthew Island, the Pribilofs, all 15 knots out of the west. And for the area from Nunivak Island down to Cape Newenham, northwest at 15. And for the eastern Beaufort Sea coast, kind of a variable wind pattern up there, anywhere from east to northwest at 15 to 20 knots. 20-knot winds also for the western Arctic coast out of the northwest. Light southwest breeze at 5 for the western coast. And the Chukchi Sea here, kind of variable wind direction there, running anywhere from 15 to 25 knots. For the Chukchi Sea on Friday, the direction finally gets its mind made up out of the south or southwest at 10 to 15 knots. Otherwise, the central and western Arctic coast, south at 10, eastern Beaufort Sea coast, winds range from north at 10 to west at 20.